Better than watching Saturday morning cartoons. I don't know. That's Saturday morning cartoons are definitely a tough draw versus this one. Hey guys, how you doing? So today we are troubleshooting a couple little things. Not on the car. The car is fantastic. Thank you for asking. I'm making sure the GoPro is up and running. Everything else looks like it's good, so that's good. Ooh. Yeah, I went back to streaming the old way. And it's working. So that's good. So my computer's working. How y'all doing? Ooh, getting things started right off the bat. Tracy with a $5 super chat. Love your videos and learning from you, Matt. Keep up the good work. Thank you very much. I really appreciate that. What a way to get started. Hell yeah. I have some iced coffee today. It's actually not very hot in the garage, though. It's like a really comfortable temperature, which is just good. Okay, so we're gonna try this again. I don't know, my stream off of the GoPro, the kilobits dropped to a pretty low rate. So we're gonna let that settle in. Okay, now it's a little higher. I'm having to run it like 2 or 3 times now to get it up and running properly. Looks like that's good. So hopefully it'll pick up. But yeah, we have Focus RS. So what I wanted to do today was try and shoot a video at the same time if possible, because this spoiler right here is what most people have issues with. It's really like the way this overhangs right in here. You know, people don't understand trying to bunch up the tint up here. Some will tell you you have to remove it. Some tell you it's easy to do that. Whatever floats your boat. I don't like to remove anything like that, especially a spoiler. You know, like on a Civic or Focus or whatever the case may be. I don't like to remove them. But yeah, so we're gonna go over that in a little bit more detail. And then today we are doing carbon, actually. We're doing 20% GeoShield C2 carbon on the sides and the back. 5%, no, 20. We're gonna do 20% today. Yeah, and on the RS, they kind of do like a double spoiler deal. Still, I think the same amount of overhang. I think the RS, yeah, really. So this part, you're already going to encounter on all the Focus hatchbacks, but this part right here, it doesn't really get in your way that much, but it is like, it makes it a little bit more intimidating. Most Focus hatchbacks, I think pretty much all of them, have this little lip overhang here, and then the tint butts up here. So, can we open this? It's not going to bump my camera. So up here, you can see we actually have a lot more room to work with on the inside versus the outside. So that's a good thing. That makes it easier for us overall, because you don't have to get that cut exact, but you still want to get it as close as you can. But usually you're undershoot instead of overshoot on something like this. Oh, wrong screen. Oh, all right. Let me, I gotta do a thing really quick. I gotta message the customer that we're live with his Focus, if he hasn't seen it already. Happening now. Let's see. Da-da-da-da. How do we share to a page? No, I need the link. I need the link. Copy link address. And then inbox. Also on the YouTube channel, youtube.com/tintstuff. 9 cars today. Damn, that's a busy day. I have the one car. I actually like to keep it this way though. So I had another guy. I had another couple possibilities for this afternoon, but they, I don't know. It was tough trying to collect a deposit on my afternoon appointments. So, but I'm having to do that now with a handful of days. So if it's one of those things where I don't have anything and then I get a phone call and somebody wants to roll in, no problem. Yeah, bring it on down. That's fine. But if I'm having to schedule things at least a day to 2 days out, I'm collecting appointments at this point. It's the only way to ensure the spot, because right now some people show up and then some people of course don't, and I don't have the time to put aside to see if they're not going to show up. So collecting deposits for me right now is a must. I've got too many other things going on too on top of this. Been watching your videos for a few years. Thank you for posting. Thanks for watching. I appreciate it. Just got to the stream. Welcome. I'd imagine a Saturday morning stream is probably going to be a much lighter stream because Saturdays are like busy days for most people. So I guess at this point we're going to go ahead and get started. Let's start with the... trying to think of what to do here. I kind of want to start with just the back and go from there, but I have to do let's do some prep on it first. Oh, you know what? I didn't start recording to the SD card. Damn. I haven't figured this out yet. Oh well, we're just gonna go for it and then see what happens. Because I wanted to film a video on this back window, but it's kind of like juggling. And then I always make a mistake on like setting up the recording thing. So right now, the GoPro is just like streaming. It's not actually doing both at the same time. So I'd have to stop that and restart it. Dang. Do I want to do that? Fuck it. Why not? We'll restart it and we'll see what happens. And then so let's go ahead and stripe this back window, I guess. We'll wipe it off, we'll stripe it right after I get this GoPro up and running. Ta-da, control your GoPro. Morning from California. How's the weather out there? It's actually nice today here. We'll get to it. 1 second. 1 second. 1080p. Save a copy. That's what I forgot to do. Ooh. All right. Set up live stream. Go live. All right. Now we should be good as long as this fires up okay. So that drastically reduces the record time on this GoPro. So we only have like an hour of battery before we have to swap. So it's 10:23, so by 11 we should swap out the battery for the next one. So that's just a quick reminder for me. All right, let's, can we start recording on here too? Settings, output, recording. Start recording. Okay, we're gonna start recording too. All right, so let me try and do this real quick. We're gonna record the beginning of this video right now. Just watch. At the way this is set up. Aw, where'd my camera go? No! It doesn't want to work. Why did my camera just stop? Oh, it shut off. Why? That's the goofiest problem. It hasn't done that yet. Are we good now? Oh no. Hang on. Settings. Guys, this is rough. Deactivate, activate. There we go. Sweet Jesus. All right, we'll try this one more time. Here, you can see this lip right here is going to be very common on all the Focus hatchbacks. This extra spoiler is pretty unique to the Focus RS, but you're always going to have to deal with something like this. These are also on like something like Dodge Caravans. A lot of other hatchbacks will have little spoilers like this. So what we're going to be doing is basically showing you how to tint these. Guys, this is rough. All right, shit. Take 3. You guys ready? Okay, and then we're gonna tint this. All right, so today we're gonna be talking about the Ford Focus, shoot. Now I'm losing my train of thought. This is what happens when I try and record and my wife is holding the camera and she just starts doing this. Yeah, I muted it, unfortunately. All right. So welcome back. Today we're going to be talking about the back window on this Ford Focus RS, specifically to deal with these spoilers because they actually get in the way. You're going to find this on a lot of hatchbacks and some other cars like a Dodge Grand Caravan will have these too. So it's a question I get a lot. You're going to see these on a lot of Focuses, pretty much all the hatchbacks. This extra spoiler up here is pretty unique to the RS. Doesn't really get in the way that much. But trying to tuck the film under here, shrink it, it can be a little bit annoying. Some people will tell you you have to take them off. I don't like to do that. I like to leave everything as is, so we're going to be going over that today. Well, that was fun. Okay, so let's go ahead and start on this back window. Guys, it took 3 times. 3 times to get that going. So let's turn on some lights. Let's go pro. Let's go pro. We'll get it one day, huh? I like how I just literally announced it to like shared it to the customer and then I started trying to film and then everything just started going to high hell. So on these Focuses, this wiper obviously is something that'll get in the way too. You can actually remove them pretty easily with just like a 8 or 10 mil bolt, I believe, usually 10 mil. However, you can also take, let me get my tool belt. You can also take one of these little guys what is it? Okay, so these wipers get in the way a little bit, but you can actually take a shank that you use for tucking film and just slide it in here. There's a little hole, and then ba-boom, just like that. It's all set. Who creates my logos? Carrie from Iron Duck Designs. She's done a lot of logos for a lot of window tint, vinyl wrap, and other auto companies. She does extra work besides that, but that's kind of like the niche that she fell into. All right, now that's all lined and protected. We need to put our dryer sheet or dry shrink prep, whichever one that you use. And stuff that over there. Floor looks badass. Thank you. This was my last weekend project. Finally got one of the race deck floors. All right, so like normal, everything's gonna be pretty much normal up to this point. The only difference is gonna be trying to cut against this spoiler. Maybe a little bit of shrinking. We're gonna change a couple small things up. So we need to let this dry, but we can speed that up a bit. But it shouldn't take long at all to actually dry off. So we're doing the dry shrinking method on this. It's going to be the most popular, the quickest way to do it. I tend to not wet shrink anything other than door windows. This is usually just an all-around quicker, smoother way of shrinking window film. All right, now that that's mostly dry, we got to get our film. So we are using GeoShield Carbon 20%. It would be advisable to have a shorter roll to do windows like these, but you can do the back window just fine. Let me make sure I got the right percentage in this box. I believe I do. I just want to double check because I was sampling some rolls of film. Yes, perfect. Okie doke. Let's grab our sprayer. So when we're actually unrolling the film, this wiper can get in the way still a little bit. So I like to put it down and then I'll put it back up when I actually go to cut the film out. You can spritz a little bit of water on it too as well. If you're applying this much film to the outside, kind of need it to give like a surface to hang on. All right, so let's go ahead and cut a decent sized piece off of this. Nothing crazy, but we definitely need a little extra because we're gonna be carrying this whole piece off. Now, this extra bit you can use on like the quarter windows, so don't just throw it out. There's a delay. Yeah, there's probably gonna be a little bit of a delay. I haven't synced it up quite right yet. I'm working on it though. Okay, so there's a couple ways to actually do this. One way is to basically trim and guess cut, so you can basically visualize here and then just make a cut, go all the way across, and then come back up and slide the whole thing up. But what we're going to try today is we kind of need to round off these corners, so we're going to pull that back. I'm trying to not make any cuts just in the middle of the glass, any unnecessary cuts. So what we're going to do, we're going to cut off the corners, and then we're going to just bend up the edge and slide it up underneath here. And then we're going to cut right in between the gap on that spoiler. So you can find where that edge is. We don't want to go past that. And then just make your cut, putting a fair amount of pressure so it doesn't slip away. Now we have one cut, and we're going to just cut this little bit actually apart here. I wonder if this switched to this camera. And then scoot up a little bit. Okay. So we can't just cut this way, because if we do, the blade's going to skip off this little point. But we cut it right here because we wanted that to basically separate the tension. So as we're cutting across, it's not going to pull from one side or the other. So what we can do, oh, we need to push this farther up, don't we? We're a little shy. So if you lay this down now, you can see where you are. We actually need to slide this up a little bit farther than that. That's the thing, because film's going to taper down on the sides. So definitely make sure that that's all covered up. So again, we can do the same thing that we just did. My bad, I should have made sure that the corners were completely covered before I made this cut. And where are we? We're a little low. So we're going to switch it up just a little bit more. And then we should be good. Good deal. So that's what's going to make this so difficult, right? Is just the sheer amount of film that's going to try and be bunching up in these corners. So that's why you want to be very gradual with it. And the less things that it bumps into, the easier it's going to be. So we can kind of wedge it up here without creasing it or anything. It's just rolling it into the top. And then finding that one spot in between the film and the glass and the spoiler and bringing things over, making your cut, putting some pressure, and then rounding it out. And if we did everything okay, we should be butt up right to that spoiler, just like that. Perfect. We got a little overhang here. Good deal. No gaps. But one thing we're still going to do is probably push it up a little bit farther to make sure there's 100% no gaps. Also, we can cut it a little bit wider at the bottom and do it that way. So let's go to GoPro. So again, on this side, let me show you guys a little bit better with the GoPro here. We're butting the film all the way up to the spoiler, and then we're just cutting it in between the spoiler and the glass. There's like a little air gap there, so you can get it close. You got to be careful as you start bunching it up to the sides You're not trying to crease it or anything like that, but putting a little bit pressure upwards. And then there you go. We have some cuts. Now, if you want to shrink it, see, this is where I made my first cut, and then I put it up a little bit more. So what we're going to be doing is actually pulling this film even farther up than we did before. But you can shrink this a couple ways. So if you wanted to, you could shrink it right up into the spoiler. Or if you want to give yourself a little bit of breathing room, which is perfectly fine too, you can pull it back down, shrink some of these, basically shrink half of it up to the spoiler. Without actually having to go all the way up into the spoiler. Hey, super chat. Dana Reyna, $20 super chat. Thank you. I use a clear liner of a previous film to make my pattern. Avoids any chances of creasing the film. The liner is easier to work with. Just my thoughts. Yeah, that's definitely a way you can do it. If you have a glass board over on the side and you have a previous pattern, but let's say we're just doing this from scratch with no previous pattern, we're out on the road. Everything's always going to be a little bit more straightforward in a shop environment. So it's definitely a good point. If you can cut the pattern from something else, sure. But if you know, like me, a lot of times you toss all your excess film away. I don't save a whole hell of a lot. So just coming to this car new, we got to figure it out, and we want to do it with as little as film as we can. So we're going to get all this shrunk down. And then once we get that shrunk down, we can shift it up, back up to where we had it, check all our edges, try and get it lined up as close as we can. Maybe even a little farther up, because as we saw earlier, you can go completely up into the spoiler area. So now for the bottom, once you get it in place, you can pick up this whole bit here, start with like a cut right on this, like right where the wiper connects. Cut a notch out for it. And then look, so you got one section, you can pick this up, and then ta-da, look at that. Now we're all set up to shrink the bottom. So what we're gonna do is just shrink the bottom. So overall, this window doesn't have a lot of shrinking. So the shrinking part of it's pretty straightforward. It's really just, it can be a bit of a puzzle for sure. And then cut out the rest. Okay, hang on one second. I gotta look. I'm not trying to be rude here. I really appreciate the donations, but when we're doing things a certain way on here, I don't want there to be a debate on how it's actually getting done on the car. So I understand you've been tinting for 45 years. I really appreciate the support. I appreciate all that you bring to the community. But what I need you to understand too is that we got to create some sort of, like, I can't have somebody backseat teaching while I'm trying to make a video. Like, that's not how the stream's going to work. So again, I appreciate you. I'm sorry. Please, you guys can talk about different techniques, but don't make it a debate. That's all I'm asking. Thank you. Thank you. All right, so we're gonna finish cutting this out. And once we get this all sized up, and get this little notch cut out. So doing things this way, everybody's got their own little unique tricks and whatever. A lot of what I know is from the road, being mobile, not being able to have glass boards on the side, not being in a pretty environment. So when you see me doing something that's pretty one fit to the car, that's what I assume most people are having to relate to here. So obviously, if you have some different opinions, you can leave it down in the comments below. We can go ahead and reshrink this a little bit here. But getting the size of this pattern is really going to be the most difficult part of it. You can take this technique to pretty much any other car with the spoiler on it, except the Civics with the spoiler over the glass. Those ones, whole different story. That's why we have that window over there. So now that that's all shrunk, we pretty much have our pattern all ready to go. You can take these little bits, round them off a little bit more if you want. And let's go put this on the glass board. Oh, let's put this tin over here. And because I don't want my box to get rained on. Clean off the outside so you can see it better. I use the glass aid and notice it kind of moves and shifts on its own. Any recommendations on why it's happening? If it's in an overly hot environment or if there's like a residue underneath the glass, it can start to shift away when there's a lot of tension on it. So when you stretch it out, like when you're unrolling it onto the car, it works better typically in cooler environments, I've noticed. It softens off a lot in hot environments. So basically, when you're trying to line it, if you also go around a really heavy corner, it can be a bit of a problem. So those are some definite disclaimers on it. But by and large, most places it works okay. So let's pick this up. We're going to put a towel down. Also, we can unhook these. All right, we're gonna spray this down. We gotta clean it off. Get some clay, because clay makes the world better. Oh, I dropped it. So let's get a new one. I leave my clay sitting in water too. Leaves it soft. All right. So we're gonna wipe this down. Look at all that. Look at all that comes off of the spoiler or the defrost. Put that there. I'm gonna rinse this off. We're just gonna power through this video with what it is so far, and then I'll get back to chat. Because we're trying to do something just a little different here. There we go. And now we're going to peel this. Uh-oh. Hello? I'm streaming right now. Okay, bye-bye. All right, so we're gonna layer this up. And if everything got cut out just right, everything should be good. So one of the trickiest parts is always like, you gotta like look all the way up here, because if you have any gaps, a lot of times if you don't stick your head up there, you're not gonna notice until it's too late and your film's locked in place. Can't hear anything. Should still be working. Hello. No, should be good. Just not talking. All right. Yeah, you gotta get all the way up here. Make sure you have no gaps, and you can see that cutout right there. Did a decent job of getting it all our light gaps covered. Seems like it's shrunk enough. We'll probably have a couple little things to touch up. Ooh. That looks good. So we got a couple little fingers right at the bottom. We can shrink those out right at the end. No need to worry about them yet. We got all the room in the world. We had an easier time shrinking this top part. Or the bottom when you close the hatch. And then do a couple quick things, lock all this down. And that should be it. We'll check, make sure we don't have any fingers, any other things. We always might, which is a good thing to always check before you walk away from it. So wipe it off. Give it a good once over. Yeah, buddy. Ooh, that looks good. That looks really good. Hell yeah. All our edges all covered up. We got no gaps. Satellite. But bam. Hell yeah. All right, so let's go ahead. Let's go ahead and do the rest of the car. All right. Oh, so let me take this off for a second. We're gonna start up a new GoPro session, I think. Okay, so I just gotta mute chat when I do one of these. So sorry. Look, I know I started. So you guys gotta understand when I'm talking and then I'm starting to hear chat at the same time. Like I know that's how this dynamic works. So when I'm working on this back window, it all of a sudden started to sound like a big debate, and then like I kept basically hearing about using a liner, and a lot of experience, stuff like that. So look, sorry if I sounded a little harsh on it, but if I'm trying to teach a thing, what I really don't need this to become, like I know we'll talk about little techniques and stuff like that. I just really, really, really am very careful of it becoming like a, why are you doing it that way? This is how I do it type of thing. So some things can come across differently in chat, and I just don't need it to basically backseat teaching or something like that. So we all have our opinions. We all have our differences. Definitely 1,000 ways to skin a cat. So again, I appreciate the support. I didn't mean to come off overbearing or anything like that. Messed up the video already 2 or 3 times, and then was trying to come back to get this done proper. So there was some frustration involved when that happened. So yeah, this is definitely, so to summarize this is definitely a little bit of an advanced technique. The easiest way would be to remove the spoiler if you're handy at removing the spoiler. And I say easy. Easy for the installation, easy for the cutting, easy for the shrinking. Or grabbing a liner, creating another pattern, keeping it on hand. So when I peel this, it would be beneficial for me to keep the liner handy. If I have glass boards, then I can cut out a new one. Boom, boom, cut it, install, no big deal. My experience by and large is I've been out on the road, I've been at mobile shops. I don't have a bunch of extra liners, plotters, and extra tools handy to get jobs like this done. So I've had to figure out my own creative ways without having to remove the spoilers. So yeah, this is going to be a little bit of this is going to be a little bit more of an advanced technique, a little bit tricky to understand how to shift the film, where to shift it exactly, and get your cuts just right so you're not damaging anything. However, boom, it's another way to do it. It's the way I like to do it. And at the end of the day, we all have a beautiful tint job. So thank you. Thumbs up if you liked it, comment, subscribe, all the things. And I'll see you guys in the next one. All right, it's cool. So that's a video, somewhat. There we go. I know this is going to be, like, this is not something that I normally do, and we're going to have people popping in and out of the stream a bunch of times too. Apologies if I created the misunderstandings. I respect your work and a lot, and I'm a huge fan. Yeah, like, I think there was just a big misunderstanding through all of this and what I heard along with good luck to all. Never give up despite. Yeah, man. Look, I'm sorry. I was just, yeah, between the back and forth of I should just. So when I go to make one of these videos, what I'm gonna have to do is basically take off the headset and just do my best to power through a video without like chat, and then make my video and then come back. So I'm trying to knock out like 2 birds with 1 stone. Like make a video specifically for YouTube that covers like what I would say is the most interesting topic about a car like this. Get the rest of the car done, and then upload that directly to YouTube while you guys still all have the stream. And that's kind of like juggling and juggling on a unicycle or something like that. Like there's a lot of shit going on there, so. And then the technical, figuring out how to do the technical is always super fun. So can we just start up another one of these? Oh, we're tinting it. Don't worry. You can go back in the in the video later, and you can see. All right. Oh no, I'm not gonna. So I'm not gonna cut off the live at all. Like I intend to see. So here's the trickiest part, right? I'm gonna try and film a video. Everybody's saying don't shut off the stream. All right, let's plug that in. We're not stopping the stream, okay? All right, so that's plugged in, and set up stream. Yeah, we should be good. As long as it works. It's trying. So we'll do the rest of this car. And we're on track. Go live. Good deal. Good deal. I think we're... There we go. Alrighty, so let's get the rest of this done, shall we? So back glass is all set. Usually we do that after the fact. But I figured I had the camera here. That's what we're gonna do. That's what we're gonna do from now on. We're gonna get better. Let's put this here. Camera, stay. And let's go ahead and tint the rest of this. I gotta lock my mic because I ended up muting it. I need to, so in OBS, if I accidentally, I turned off all the overlays to shoot this video, and then I ended up muting my mic for the first take, which was actually really good. And then I forgot what I was saying, and then I got flustered. But we can get better. Got some work today? Yeah, that's awesome. Saturdays are like crazy busy for a lot of people now. I mean, just in general, things have picked back up. Places are opening back up. Unfortunately here, they extended the shutdown through mid-June. But I like how people... Yeah, so there's always like 500 things going through my mind trying to set up one of these. Oh wow, that gets so close. The little antenna to the spoiler. I didn't even think, like, this notch here is like cut out too. It's kind of funny how that works. All right, so we got our roller film. We need to turn to this car on. We'll do the doors, do the quarters, and then we should be good. And we need a key fob. Illinois is reopening. That's good. Yeah, I know. Anytime they start to open up something and then there's a gathering of people, there's all of a sudden 500 more cases, right? And then it's like, oh, Jesus, here we go again. So they've been extremely cautious in opening up Michigan, more so than I think they should, but, you know, I'm not the person in charge. So everybody's wearing masks. Everybody's always really respectful around here, and it doesn't seem like things are taken out of hand as far as the people around the Metro Detroit area. But, you know, I'm sure it's different. And it's pretty quick before all of a sudden you have another pandemic on your hands that you got to worry about. But business, at least, is definitely in full gear now, so even if they open it back up, it's not really going to change business a whole lot at this point. All right, so we're going to double cut this. So we got a 40-inch roll here. 36 works great too. Cut whichever side you so choose. When I'm doing bigger ones, though, I like to start on the bottom. Get rid of some extra. Oh, so here's an interesting thing. Apparently my Gila videos got the attention of Eastman. So, I'm not really sure what to do. I'm not really sure what to do about that yet. So, somebody called me yesterday and wrote a small bio on me, but I don't know what if Eastman's interested in me as a person or more interested in the meme of that video, and want to do something about it. I have no idea. I looked up their market cap. Eastman's a $9 billion company, though. Make it look effortless. Thank you. But that's the way I got to this point is just doing it so much. Like 6 days a week, I was tinting. So all day, most days a week, I was fucking tinting, and I would hand cut the vast majority of things that I did for a long time. So yeah, it's like, you know, when they put a lot of the times what shops would do is like they wouldn't even ask. Some did, of course, but some, they basically just like their job is to stack you with work. And you didn't have a choice. Sometimes it was slow, and then all of a sudden 3 cars would come in, and you're the only person that can get this shit done. Because you're, like the environments that I worked in, I was the only tinter. There was automotive mechanics. All right, let's not get demonetized. How do we? Is that the volume? Oh, that is the volume thing. Maybe we can switch the audio to the GoPro. Maybe that'll be better for you guys. Let me try that real quick. Tell me if this works. Now the audio will be for sure synced up. You let me know if it sounds okay. What do you think about beginners double cutting? Because I've been at it for a while and never really started doing it. It's a fantastic thing to learn. Concentrate first on being able to cut good patterns, and once you can do that, then start double cutting. So you don't have to like force yourself to do it super early on. But it is a huge time saver when you're trying to get cars in and out. Double cutting is really a must. Is Glassade available in Tint Depot? No, not yet. We talked about it a little bit. It's something I'd like to, but it's temperamental. There's a couple things about Glassade that make it kind of a pain in the ass to like stock. And I'm sure people see it after they leave a roll sitting for a little while. So I get a big box of cut down Glassade, right? I order it like this, and this is how it shows up at my door. The problem is a lot of the times, this roll was not made to be like this. So what happens is it starts to telescope out. when I first get it. So I literally have to take every roll and leave it under like a big flat stone. And I stack all that up. So I have like a big stack of it. And then when it's ordered, I then pack it and ship it. Tint Depot doesn't have it yet because what's gonna happen is I'm gonna send out like a box of probably like 200-300 rolls, and they're not gonna have the accommodations for it like that. So as the rolls sit there for an extended period of time, they're gonna start to telescope out. That doesn't like, it doesn't like ruin the roll. It just makes it look really shitty. And I don't want it to ship like that. And then that's just the stocking it. I've run into production issues, period. So I put in a giant order for it in January, and I literally just got the rest of that order from January all the way in May. So soon as we get things completely under control and stable for like an extended period of time, then we'll look into stocking it there if they can be a little bit more accommodating for it. But it's not the same as just like taking a plastic tool or something like that. mytintstuff.com is where you can order it from. It's a link in the video description. Should be anyways. If it's not, then I'll add it in the comments really quick for you. No, we are actually doing carbon. This is a whole carbon job on the sides and the back, which is awesome. I was so excited for this car. Still am. A little bit of a rough start for sure. It's what happens when you try something new. Sometimes shit just gets out of hand before you know it. I like how you're able to work in open toe sandals. Is that professional? What do you recommend, having 20 and 30 inch roll, or only 30 inch even with the loss of film, if that makes sense? No, I don't ever carry any 30 inch rolls. Carry like a 36 or 20s. So like 36, 20. So there's a couple of good ways to order film, and it all depends on what the suppliers do. So some of them will offer some type of a discount for buying the full roll, because rolls are manufactured in either 60 inch or now they're starting to be produced in 72 inch. So that's something a little bit newer. And that kind of screws up the numbers that I said for a long time. So you can do, when you go to order, if there's a pricing discount on getting the full 60 versus buying like a 36-24, but the, yeah, 36-24, if there's some type of a discount. If there's not, then generally speaking, you'll be completely fine off of like a 20 inch and 36. But I always run around with like 36 inch rolls and 20. So 30s will be good for some back windows. Actually a lot of back windows. But you can take the extra from that 36-inch roll and use it for like quarter windows and stuff like that. Good deal. $20 for windshield strips? Sometimes. If I have so you can get a 20-inch roll and have them cut it down into 10-inch rolls and have two really good windshield strip rolls, basically, out of a 20-inch roll. But a lot of times now on modern cars, you'll have like this one, right? You've got so much, you got like a black divider here. So yeah, in that case, I would take the 20-inch roll and then just split it between the two if that's all I had. But the 20-inch rolls cut down into 10-inch rolls are super handy too. And then it kind of gives you like an educated measurement for what a windshield strip can be. Because there's some people, I think for most people, windshield strips come about down to here, around here. But I've had a handful of people like, oh, I want a windshield strip down to here. It's like, well, at that point, bro, it's not a windshield strip. You want half your windshield done. And that's fine, but it's not going to be the same price as a windshield strip. You're doing great with a bunch of thumbs up. I heard it read so many thumbs up on my headset. I was like, what the fuck is that? Thank you. All right, we're gonna snap shrink these and then we're gonna install them. And then we don't have a back window to worry about because it's all done. And it looks good. So that's good. Why no put on the inside? Bro, it gets there. It's like one of my favorite comments now. Oh. So the funny thing about that comment though is like I get a lot. Doesn't it go on the inside, or why are you tinting the outside? I get that comment so many times on like my Walmart video, my AutoZone video, and they're all like, he doesn't know what he's doing, he's tinting it on the outside. And it's like, you just skip forward like halfway through the video and you'll see. But they comment before it gets there. Fucking Twitch chat, yes, it's going on the inside. Hey Matt, keep up the good work. I'm about to tint a GMC Acadia in my garage. Love watching your videos. Awesome, good luck. Have fun. Have you ever done a top and bottom windshield strip? Actually, no. I think I got... Okay, so from what I'm guessing is that most of the sales guys just flat out tell the customers no. from the places that I was tinting at, but that is not much of a thing in my area at all. I never see it. So it's just not something that I do, and I wouldn't really want to either. But no, I've actually never installed the it's weird. You got like the strip on the bottom, the bright windshield, and then the strip on the top. So it's like an army tank look, kind of, but it's window tint, so it's not the same. Okay, so let's cover up these door panels, shall we? Fucking Twitch chat going weird. What an asshole. Fuck off. All right. So these panels should stick relatively good. Cool. So this part right here is gonna be the deepest. So it's not so bad. Like these seals are really, really loose, but they're pretty far in. So you have a lot of plastic paneling that you have to deal with. So let's grab our scrubby. Let's get this cleaned up. Do we get a sticker? Sticker's on the driver's side, isn't it? Yes, it is. So now, being that this is carbon, might be a little bit more difficult to maneuver in here too, so we gotta be extra careful. Grab this one and this one. I've heard it called windscreen tank visors and even suicide strips. Suicide strips, that's that one's special for sure. I think I saw somebody post in the group murder strips, yeah. Let's not call it murder. Sounds like a bad deal there. So normally I'll try and tuck the longer side. And then I'll do the shorter side. I'm thinking I might do the shorter side on this one this time. Just between the way the paneling kind of comes up and causes the film to bunch up on this one in particular, it'd be smarter to maybe get this front side in first. Oh, you're right. The fusion handle with the thumb stopper. I got that same one, and I actually started to grind mine off because of this pouch. I totally forgot about that. Yeah, it catches, and then you're left like really struggling with it. It's a big pain. Yep, I've been there. And then the Fusion Shorty handle, it actually feels a little bit lighter though. The Fusion Shorty handle is a bit thinner. Or, not thinner. I don't know. The Fusion 5 is like a dense fucking handle. So, there we go. Yeah, that wasn't so bad. As long as the front edge doesn't stick, we're good. Yeah, there we go. Cool. So like one of the biggest problems on these doors that I had to deal with, and I would scrap a lot of film, was I always put the big side in first, but there's so much more paneling here that you should actually, I think, do the front side first and then worry about the back side. Because when you try and roll it up and like cram it in, sometimes there's like creases that can develop right in here. I've done that, like I did that too many times. So doing the front side first seemed to go a little bit better. But then you got this back corner that you got to worry about too, but just a lot of paneling in the way for these, for sure. They're very loose seals though, and they're not really difficult windows. There's just kind of some shit in the way that you got to deal with. Sliding just a little bit still, so we're gonna let this tack up. Shrinking a back window and it keeps creasing on you. Gotta keep practicing. Make sure your film's laid out right too. So vertically cross it like you always see in the videos, which I'm sure that you have already. It can be a pain in the ass to learn. All right, so let's roll this up now. We should be good. Bottom loading? Probably not. The times that you'll see me do that is with frameless doors, but I don't take the seals out. It's really funny. So I learned how to do that on frameless. Just peel the whole thing and go. But the guy that taught me how to tint swears that's not how he does it. But I swear that's how he taught me to do it. So like, I don't know what happened there. Okay. There's a lot of other people that do that technique. It's just not something that I normally do ever, so I'm not a great teacher of it. Especially with like removing all the panels and stuff like that. How much soapy water? Depends on the day, really. So I don't measure out a straight amount. I just basically squeeze a fair amount from the bottle into my tank and then just kind of adjust as I go. I always try and keep things a little bit extra on the slick side. So if it's humid, I'll definitely overcompensate for that. Because it never hurts to have too much soap in your bottle. But if you don't have enough in, then the film's gonna tack up quickly on you. So you're better off getting it into place first. And then like dealing with it being a little extra slick. About to shrink back window first time with Geo. Nice. What Geo Shield though? Their ceramic shrinks really quick, and their dyed shrinks really quick too. Their C2 is kind of a little bit slower of a shrink. It's not super fast, so everything else by them though shrinks very well. But yeah, so somebody asked about the flat out with these top edges. Yeah, if you like put too much pressure and then you're like kind of coming in at an angle, I've had it basically like bend the tint back down. So it's a bad habit. Like I try and do that when I'm cleaning, but if you're doing it the exact same way, sometimes it'll happen if you're not careful with squeegeeing it. The safer way is to usually just like push it out. But yeah, every once in a while, something like that would happen to me. It's just gotta adjust a little bit. Then I go back and try and touch up the edges a little bit. If it's like just a slight bend, then you can dry it back out and get it to lay down okay. But sometimes it'll like drag dirt into it too and it'll be done pretty quick, so. Damn, I got like this, what is that pressure? There we go. I had like just a couple air bubbles there, but I'm like hitting like a seal or something right there. There's like a pressure point. So right in here, this is where I used to have creases and stuff, so I don't see any. Awesome. But that was always the #1 spot, and it's real hard to like, you can't hide a crease like that. That's right here, and then they're looking right through to the mirror, and you're just like, ah, shit. Sticks out like a sore thumb. Classic Pro? Oh, nice. Yeah, you should, Classic Pro should shrink really well for you. I actually have a bunch on the way right now. What was that other one? Have you done security film installs? No, a little bit on auto, but I was playing around with like some Avery Dennison security film for like automotive. It's actually super popular in some like Middle Eastern countries and stuff. They'll do security film on cars. They'll do it on the inside and the outside of the window because it's a little more dangerous over there. But it's tinted security film. So it was like a really interesting idea for auto. But the adhesive made the film look wavy. I can't explain it very well. It did not look good after it dried out. So we did not install it. But super interesting idea for sure. On buildings and stuff like that, it's a big money maker for sure. It's not. I'm not an architectural guy though. It's just not something that I ever really took the time to learn. I know it's somewhat easy, but I just don't like. I want to stay here. I don't want to go residential. I don't want to do a bunch of commercial work and stuff like that. I want to stay in the studio and do some cars. It's just what I appreciate doing the best. It's what I'm most comfortable with. So people that get out there and do it all, though, will definitely make more money than I'm just doing from cars in here. I've learned to tint. I've learned to tint from you. Thanks for everything. How do you deal with very sticky glass? Other than more soap? Yeah, because honestly, more soap really isn't a great solution to the problem. It'll like partially fix it, right? So that's what everybody's go-to phrase is, just add more soap. Well, sometimes that doesn't actually fix the problem. So there's some windows that no matter what you do, it doesn't seem to translate into making it more slippery. And there's always those days, like right now, it's a cooler day. These windows are not sticky at all. So this is going really, really well. So what I would do is take this stuff right here. So one of these. And where's the scrubby? So this is what I like to do. This is called Rewind to Raw. This is a hydrophobic coating remover. So a glass scrubbing compound. So first, this is the Tri-Edge Scrub It. They have these glass scrubbing pads. They come in a couple different colors for different hardnesses. You can find those at Tint Depot. The glass scrubbing compound, you can find at Sun Distributing. I'm probably going to stock it soon. I have the bottles. I just haven't put it up on the site. But it's basically it's a hydrophobic and deep cleaning compound. So it's, in a manner of speaking, like wet sanding a window. But it's actually made for glass. So it's not like, you know, you spray the window a little bit, you take this compound, you go over it, and that should help with a lot of it. I've heard some other backyard techniques, but this stuff generally works pretty well. And even on, like, you know, if you got like a Range Rover comes factory with hydrophobic coatings on the inside of the glass too. So it does a good job at scrubbing that. But it does leave a little bit of an abrasive behind because there's an abrasive in it. That's what scrubs the glass. So that's where I've come to like also taking clay bars and just doing a little touch up with them. I was getting into, what are they called? Tack cloths for a little bit. And then I discovered clay bars. So they're not, you don't need them. I've been tinting for a long time without them, but they seem to help a little bit. Especially with the back glass. I really like them for cleaning out the defroster lines and shit like that now. No. There we go. So one way thought I put myself in a bit of a position there. One way to get a pattern on the window is to sometimes slide it. These give me a lot of space, but even still, when you slide the pattern really far into the seal, sometimes it gets stuck and doesn't want to come back out. So be careful. Because you can try and roll it, but again, with all the paneling and shit in the way, sometimes it makes it a little trickier on something like this. Ooh. That's a good cut. I got my carbon blades back. Hell yeah. I have a little bit extra soap though, so it's still wiggling. So we gotta, we can squeegee it a bunch of times. We could heat it up on the outside. I just want to make sure that it's gonna tack up in place. Like I said, you can have, if you add extra soap in your bottle, it's not gonna cause problems for you other than just being a little bit more slippery. So in those cases, if it's still not locking down quite quick enough, then just warm up the edges a little bit. Usually the corners are best because it will fix it here, fix it there. The rest will hold in place. Do it from the outside though. Let the heat transfer and then it'll tack it down in place. Ta-da! Let's roll this up. What's the difference between carbon and stainless steel? So stainless steel, I actually didn't know this for quite a long time. I just went by what everybody told me, and that's only use stainless steel on glass. And that's true for cutting. Only use the stainless steel for cutting on the glass if you're gonna use anything. But even that might scratch the window. Generally not. But it depends, I don't like to do any extended cuts on glass anymore. That's why I have glass aid, shit like that. So carbon steel is a harder steel and holds its blade for much longer. It's also cheaper. So I use NT blades. Alpha are great too. NT seems to keep a little bit, they're a little bit sharper by and large. So I'll always carry both, and I use the stainless steel for cutting my regular edges, and then the 30-degree carbon steel, specifically the 30-degree, because it holds its blade a little bit better, and it's also like cutting with a needle. So this is the 60, this is the 30. You can see the difference in what sticks out there. So you're better off cutting with something like this on a top edge. It gets it that much closer. It's really, really good. Highly recommend. It's one of those things, there's a handful of things I don't know. There's just been a handful of things that like are starting to make their way into the market a little bit that nobody has been talking about. And like 30-degree blades, some people are using them, but no, I never came across anybody that mentioned them. Same thing for like clay bars now. I really like those. Scrubbies, those are cool with like the right compound on them. So, good stuff. Damn, this looks so good. Cool. Is it possible to overheat the window? Yes, 100%. So what's gonna happen is if you put too much heat on the window, the glue, or sorry, the water is actually gonna boil, and that's what's gonna cause the whole spot to basically bubble up and burn. So when you're heating up the glass, there's like this sweet spot, and it's really easy to feel for. So you heat the outside, you put your hand on the inside, and then it takes a little while for that heat to transfer to the inside. So heat up the outside, wait, heat up the outside, wait, and then feel the glass. And then as soon as the glass gets too hot to touch, like if it hurts to put your hand there, then don't heat it up anymore. You don't need a lot of heat to start to dry it out. It just needs to be much warmer than it is, you know, just sitting there. And as soon as you start applying some heat to it, it'll make things tack down way quicker. So like for like pushing a little spot out, like if you have a little piece of dirt, air bubble, that type of stuff. It's pretty cool. So don't overheat. Back at it again with the white RS. Yeah, right. This car looks so good. He's got blue. They have blue Brembo brakes on it. And like he's got the blue Recaro stitching, like Recaro seats with like the RS stitching and stuff like that. Dude, it's so clean. This looks really, really good. It's so nice to have like that kind of clean car in this kind of studio. Like this is the type of stuff that I was hoping for. And like it's an RS, so it's all like, you know, it's like the tuner world, so fits right in here. Hell yeah, do it. Okay, now which way? I believe we... Normal? Yes, normal. I was trying to remember if I put it on here vertically or not. The white RSs, they look super cool. There's also like a lighter gray, like a flat gray. It looks like, well, it's gloss, but like it's just like a different type of gray. It looks really, really cool. I've done a handful of those too. Woke up late. We're doing 20%. 20% on the sides and the back. No problem. Okay, so we're gonna do these quarters, and then we're gonna do the other doors. And then we'll be done, because the back window looks good. Wow. So we got a lot of room to work with on these, nothing crazy. Ford quarters are far different from something like an Audi or a BMW. Concept's still the same, just looser tolerances on the Ford. What's the difference between charcoal and ceramic? That's not really a comparable thing. So charcoal refers to the coloring. Ceramic refers to like the construction. So you'd be like ceramic or carbon would be like the main differences. And in that case, it's mostly heat rejection. There's some more than that, but that's like the biggest difference. Do I ever have problems with rolling down windows? Not anymore. It's something that I struggled with in the beginning, and I'll tell you, snap shrinking really seemed to help a lot of my problems. But if your window is tacked right on the bottom, you shouldn't have any problems rolling it down immediately. It's just a good habit to tell the customer though, because you want it's really not going to ruin anything, but you just want to like leave the windows up, make sure everything's dried out properly. The wetter the film is, like, it's one of those things, like it shouldn't cause a problem, but if somebody starts rolling up the window up and down a bunch of times, back to back to back, maybe it'll just like catch it on the wrong second and like peel an edge or something. But honestly, it shouldn't happen. But I don't know. When I started snap shrinking, that helped me a lot as far as my bottom edges on like, especially on cars like Challengers and Camaros. I used to have a lot of those back edges peel on me. That was always really annoying. Are there any decent pre-cuts out there? Yeah. There's one site. Check out tintzoom.com. The chat is not updating. I wonder if that's a YouTube thing, because people told me that last time, and I'm having the same type of issue with the stream. I bet you there's a YouTube bug. If I had to guess, there's got to be a YouTube bug. So people told me this last time, a little bit, and unfortunately there's nothing on my end that I can do. So if you guys look at my, this is my stream window right here, and now it actually tells me how many concurrent viewers, likes, and shit like that. Usually it didn't update. Like last time it had a problem too. So sometimes it's just live streaming. Live streaming on YouTube can have its own technical difficulties. What card am I using? I'm using a felt, what I call like a felt hard card. So you can find them at places like Tint Depot. They're called Mac Tacs. I have some too. So this is a really old one. And the older they get, like the more dense that they get, kind of like on the edges. So it looks really dirty, but brand new. They look pretty nice. They're softer and they let you basically skip over little pieces of dirt and grit. So if you use a hard card, those work great, but if you have like a little piece of sand or something on the back window and then you hit that little piece of sand, you'll rip right through the film. And that drove me crazy. And then somebody showed me the Mac Tac, and then I switched to those and I haven't looked back. Although, there's a guy I know that's got like a triangular card, and he's got like a felt strip on it, and I actually like that a little bit better. I just never took the time to find it or make one, because I think he took one and then put a felt strip on it. So it's like a good in between of a hard card and also the felt strip. But yeah, felt hard card or also Mac Tac. Little gap there. No gap anymore. We good? We all covered? Yes. Cool. Then we use a little green squeegee. Squeegee all this out. This is just like a little soft, cheaper squeegee. I like to take these and cut them down. The softer the squeegee for the quarter, like if you take a good, basically like if you take like an orange crush or like a flat out or something like that, like the softer the squeegee, the better they make for like little quarter windows and stuff like that. I know they make the little turbo squeegees, but I don't know. They've never worked quite as well, in my opinion, for me. We don't want that to happen. Do you ever layer film? I laughed at the part about like 5% not being dark enough. I know there's those people that really like extra dark. I don't know, anything darker than 5% is like, unless you're talking about maybe the back of like a work van or something, the front doors, windshield, all that, it's like just starts getting too dark, in my opinion. But no, I don't really double layer film. I would do it for somebody if they ask. But the reason I don't normally do it, and customers end up not going for it, is it's kind of like a catch. It would void the warranty for me. So, by and large, you should be okay. The film will stick to the film. The manufacturer does not back it up in those means anyways. So, you know, if you called and wanted them to cover a job that had 2 layers of tint, they wouldn't do it. Shit, then sometimes a challenge to get them to cover a warranty period. But you just gotta, like, do it, but be careful. Because let's say, okay, so let's say two hypotheticals here. Let's say a customer rolls in with tint on it and just wants to go a little bit darker. They don't want to pay for a removal. Yeah, that's completely understandable. But when you're layering over somebody else's film, you know nothing about that film that's on there. So if a window peels or something bubbles up, you shouldn't be held responsible for it. And even if you had, even if you're going to redo it for the guy, whatever you're going to put there is not going to match anymore. So you just try and get it as close as you possibly could. The other is, let's say you were putting 2 layers of your own film on it. You should be fine. But again, if a window peels, then you have to try and tint it twice again. So I guess as long as you have a record, you know what's on there, if it's your own film. But, you know, you might be opening yourself up to some extra problems, and that's really it. It's just kind of like the unknown, which is why most shops wouldn't do it, and going extra dark isn't all that common anyways, so most people don't tend to do it anyways. All right, so we got the 2 doors left, and then we'll be all done. Did we forget plastic? We forgot plastics. Two mil film? No, if anything, it's gonna be a little bit more challenging to maneuver because of the thickness, but it's not much different. GeoShield, their ceramic's just a little bit thicker. But I'll tell you what, I couldn't exactly tell you why it's easier to shrink, but their Pro Nano ceramic is a 2 mil, and just the way that it's constructed, it comes down to the materials that are used. Their 2 mil ceramic shrinks super quick. I have a video of it on the channel, so a comparison between like Korean carbon, or no, Korean ceramic at the time, and then the GeoShield Pro Nano. Hello from Mexico, just want to say thanks. I'm struggling with dirt from the sides on the doors. Now it's a different game thanks to you. Great work, you're the best. Aw, dude, that's awesome. Hell yeah. Glad it's going better for you. It's always such a hard thing to try and explain. You know, when I get people in the chat asking me, like, what can I do differently? And it's like, I don't know how you do things anyways. Just watch the videos, so glad it helped. That's awesome. Do all windows require shrinking? Technically no, but this is another one of those debated topics. If you pull a lot of door panels and stuff like that, a lot of people stop shrinking doors if they're just like what's called bottom loading. But installing things this way, yeah, you're gonna want to shrink everything. But it doesn't, I don't know. It doesn't take long. It's only like a couple seconds per window. So I think it's a good habit to form. You can nitpick like, oh, that window technically doesn't have to be shrunk, so I can save a little bit of time. And you can learn that over time. The reason I shrink everything, all my door windows, is just because you always run into those little, like if you have a finger pop up on the bottom that's way too much to handle, you basically have to redo the window, or you're sitting there for like half an hour trying to shrink and get it out. So you spend like five seconds to shrink it versus like 30 minutes later to like fuck around with it if it's really bad. And then sometimes it just can't be recovered. So whenever the film's on the inside and you have big fingers popping up, it's a bad day. Clean my garage and I'm still having problems with dirt. That's not surprising. So, yeah, there's a lot of people, they'll think, there we go. There's a lot of people that'll think the environment is the issue. More often than not, it's your technique. So if you're in a place that has like ceiling fans and is like you're in a dusty, and what I mean by dusty is like you can actually see little pieces of dust flying around, or you're in a shop where they're like vacuuming and blowing air and shit around like that. Yeah, that's gonna be your environment. But like before we had this floor, there was still plenty of dust on the floor. Everything settled, close the garage, and give it, like, you know, just talking on stream and whatever, like, gives it an opportunity to settle. And we can even tint with the door open. And as long as I don't have a bunch of wind knocking in here, things are generally fine. So, usually comes down to your technique. And it's kind of a tough thing to explain. But the longer you do it, the more you practice, the better results you're gonna get. So if you're getting general speckles here all along the top, maybe your top edge is still dirty. If you start getting more on the sides, then it's all coming from the side still. And you can spray and you can clean a million times over. But if your technique is not smooth, basically, you're gonna have the more you fight with the film, basically, is the more dirt and shit you're gonna see in it. So when I tuck things, keep this flat, try and roll it in. We should pick up the seal, but you shouldn't ever hear the film like crunching it, trying to like fuck around with it. Like at that point, you really start creating lots of vacuum tunnels and stuff like that, and that sucks all the dirt back into the job. Agreed. Your technique, you can walk like 10 feet away from the peel board and still get a clean job. Yeah, it's crazy, right? That's awesome. Dude, I found that out from working in places that I didn't want to work in. So, like, I tinted at, there's a post that I commented on the other day, actually yesterday. So I used to work at a place where they would also make sub boxes and like cut paneling. Like basically they would build sub boxes. They were an audio shop. And they would pull some tint work in. But the bays, they would do remote starters and stuff, so they had 3 bays at this one place. And they would always put us in the back bay. And you know, we could try and figure out different places to tint there. But generally speaking, I was over in the back bay where they did all the wood shop shit. And that was never fun. But what it taught me, and like with some other places, is that you can have shitty environments and you can still put out a really, really clean job. I wonder what happened. My window didn't roll all the way up. Oh, we got a little guy. There we go. Cool. So most of the dirt, most of the shit that's in your window, unfortunately, it's only the install, the install to blame. Unless there's like I say, some really obvious things going on. People using air guns, somebody sanding a car, sweeping the floors, creating a cloud of dust that way, fans going, shut all the fans off, shut a garage door, and then you should be okay. Holy crap, GeoShield shrinks almost better than Avery. That was an easy back window, and I think I'm in love. Awesome, glad to hear it. I agree. There's a point. I'll go over this in person because I've made an same interesting discovery. So I've used American Standard, I've used Lumar, I've used a lot of films. I've used a lot of like carbon, ceramic films and stuff like that. The one manufacturer that has always that I don't have that I'm not super familiar with is Gwari, but I've heard many good things about them. So Global is a very well-known film brand at this point, and that's where Global comes from. My experience with Global was, yeah, it's a good shrinking film. I only play with it a little bit, but more often than not, it was like I was using a different film. So when I had to retint a window, I was signed on with a mobile company. I had to retint Global film, and it was a pain in the ass to remove. It's like contact cement. It was horrid. So I never really got a lot of experience with a Gwari film, but more recently, played around with a few different ones. Yeah, they have a real smooth shrinkability to them, and I should probably show the differences between Avery and GeoShield, but I'll still stand behind Avery all day long. Avery's still a great shrinking film. There's just one little characteristic on Avery film where it tends to like kind of peek together a little bit, and I'll show you guys what I'm talking about in like a future stream. Fuck. We need a couple things. We need to stop that ding ding, and then we need to stop the or we need to cover the panel. I hope people don't get mad though, with not using Avery. It doesn't mean Avery's bad. Avery's still a fantastic film. There's a lot of fantastic films out there. Okay, so we're gonna stop this dinging. So the way to stop this dinging, latch the window, right? And then it thinks it's closed. And I do that special for the stream. Usually no other time. I'll just put on music or listen to a podcast. All right, so we're down to the last window. This has gone well, except for that. My disaster of a beginning. We're gonna get better though. Really apologize for that beginning. Jesus. Just like anything, the more you practice, the better you get. And trying to figure out how to do a live stream and shoot a video at the same time is like, it's tough. But I want to do it. So my goal for this stream now is, to basically, we want to tint a full car, but the live streams are really, really helpful to learn how to tint. But there's lots of small topics on cars that I miss by just focusing on live streams. So I want to have that balance where I shoot like a shorter video. And my goal is to do that while I'm live. So like at the beginning of the stream, for those of you that saw, I tried to shoot a video on cutting and shrinking / installing the back window. But we had some problems. The install went great. It was just all the technical. So I'm still practicing all the technical because it's like, I got to set up the GoPro to record natively to the GoPro. And then I got to set up another dedicated camera angle to basically get another perspective on it. And then I got to ignore chat, or else I guess I lose my mind a little bit. So we're working on it. Hello, I'm new here. Welcome. Welcome to the last door. This part, though, is the trickiest part. Which, honestly, we could film a video just dedicated to this right here, but we'll leave this on stream. Seen tint jobs where they tint over those driver stickers? I've seen it too. But yeah, I don't understand why you ever would. It's super annoying always. Like, they're easy to take off, but man, the number of those stickers that I have to remove. So like GM has like the Wi-Fi stickers over on the passenger side, and Ford have the Sirius stickers on the driver's side. It's like, can you guys just stop? But I guarantee it's just advertising, so I'm sure they get money for every one of those stickers that they put on there. All right, so we're gonna try and tuck in the front side again first, just because of, like we said, on the other side, there's a lot of paneling in the way, and I don't want to bend this film too much. So if we focus on getting this side in first, the back side doesn't have as much paneling. And it's a little taller, so we can maneuver the film a little better. But normally you'll see me put the backside in and then rearrange it. It's just, again, between this paneling, how much plastic framing is around this door. I'll get creases here if I'm not too careful, so avoiding that. And it's like, it's in the worst spot because you have a crease right here. You're looking directly through to the mirror. You don't want that. Customer's gonna see that in 2 seconds and be like, yo, dude, I gotta look through a crinkle. It's no fun. You know what I noticed? Is that I'm actually using the flat out on C2. I wonder if it was because my squeegee is cold, but everything's been going fine. Huh, interesting. Yeah, boy. Look how close that is. That's what we like. So we're gonna warm this one up. Lock this in place here. It's so close to the edge. That's what we like. Yeah, you see how much paneling though? Like, you got like a solid inch of plastic framing and shit that you gotta tuck behind. It's all spaced out, so it's plenty loose for like the squeegee and stuff, but you just gotta figure out a way to maneuver it so you like bend it in to be able to get it back there. Okay. When we're ready, roll this up. Let's shut off the car. And then gotta roll this out. And then keep it rolled. You can leave it rolled up kind of like a taco. So that way it's not like the adhesive's not sitting on the plastic or anything like that. Have I tinted the Toyotas with like a yellowy green? The factory yellowy green? No, what kind of Toyota? I haven't seen that. I have seen like VW Tiguan's. Those are green. And that's like I don't know. That's their staple, and they're proud of their green glass on Tiguan's. But they don't do it on anything else. I guess it's just been a staple on that car since it was new or something. But I haven't heard anything specific about the Toyotas. To be honest, I don't get a lot of them. But there isn't much you can do. Oh, I hope this doesn't pinch. It's like, you got this one little bitty spot that like won't lay down. Come on. I'm scared. I'm scared to like press it because I think it's gonna crease. And that would not be good. But we'll try. I don't know. I'll hold the seal back as much as I can, but it's being a bit of a bitch right there. Oh, I think we got it. The Forerunners. The Forerunners have like a yellow hue. Ew, that's no good. Yeah, there's nothing you could do about that. That sucks. You just, hey, that's the way the glass is. You know, is that like I had this long discussion with a guy with a Tiguan who's like, hey, if you put your film over it, will it like make it look less green? And it's like, not really. It like, here, I'll show you what it'll look like, and then we put it over, and it's like, oh, damn. It's like, yeah. You basically would have to put a film that would be like polar opposite of that color to try and neutralize it, I guess. But they don't sell anything like that at this time. But yeah, that sucks. I hardly ever get Forerunners, though, around here. I don't really get very many Toyotas, period. Occasionally I see the trucks or a Camry. Yeah, there's a lot of trucks like F-150s, F-150s, Rams, GMs, lots of those. Lots of Ford, lots of big 3 shit around here because this is the Motor City. So we have the big 3. So we good? Everything good? Let's try rolling this down. I think we're okay. Yeah, man, it's right up there. Looks good. No shifting. Just got a little guy to press out, and then she'll be all set. Good deal. So let's get a rag that's clean. Think I'll just pull the panels. Oh, the F-150 is not bad at all. Well, okay. I say that like... like, if you had been tinting for a little while, yeah, I'm sure they'll create your own challenges. The F1, but what you'll find is like the focuses, you've got like, see how much of a gap you have? The F-150's seal actually goes down about this far. So you can tuck those farther in to just like the bottom of the glass, but you really don't have to tuck it below the actual seal. So you don't really have to worry about even removing those door panels. That's one of those that my younger brother's like, you don't even have to shrink those. It's like, oh, okay. Cool. I still do though. Habit. Damn. Have I done a video on the sunroof tinting? No, I don't think I've ever done one on a sunroof. I had to do one yesterday though. I could talk about it briefly though. Some are easy. But there's like one characteristic about sunroofs that kind of turn them into a big pain in the ass. So let me heat this up. We just got literally like one teeny little finger here that we're warming up. And once we do, she'll push right out. Really, really very happy with the way this one turned out. Yeah, there's like this spot here. Just like the paneling on the inside, the way that it like pressed together reminds me of like one of the ones that I did in the last stream. Okay, so there we go, I think. I should come up with my own brand of tools and film. Well, I have Glass Aid. The problem with the tools is like I'd just be slapping my name on a lot of overseas stuff. And I don't really want to do that. I like supporting companies like Tri-Edge and Fusion and whatever. Like they make solid tools, better than you can find like generically. So manufacturing tools is kind of a expensive deal. Like buying a mold to get even something like this manufactured, like you're talking over 50 grand just to get the mold to manufacture the tool. But that's why I got good supporters like Tint Depot, who sell that type of stuff and also help out with the channel. Yes, Glassade is still in stock. MyTintStuff.com, because TintStuff.com has been taken for years. But I like calling it My Tint Stuff because that's where you can order my tint stuff and then it becomes your tint stuff. Back to the main camera. Whoopah! Yeah, dude. Oh, we should clean off this back window too, huh? Which we kind of did already. Damn. This clean. What do you guys think? Satellite, is this still working? Ugh. There we go. Ooh, baby. Yeah, she looks good. Very, very, very happy with the way this one turned out. Super clean. That install went pretty well, too. Just some headaches with the very beginning of the stream. I'm trying to figure out cameras and stuff. Yeah, it looks real good now. Thank you, guys. I guess I should text them. I can let them know it's all set. Black and white combo is the best. Turned out it's like Oreos and milk. Yeah, and he's got these sweet like blue accents on, like the wheels are all like a flat black, and then there's like a blue Brembo RS accents like these. So the RS accents are in blue. The inside stitching and like the Recaro seats, those all have blue accents, and then the brakes, like, yeah, it looks super cool. Okay, I gotta message him. Let me take a picture too. Ooh, let's get some stuff out of the way. You know, we don't talk about cars very much on this stream, do we? This looks good. This looks really good. Yeah, we got a latch. Cool. All right, we're gonna take a picture really quick. Oh, I'm like butt up against the back of the wall. Looks real clean. Thank you. It is. It was just in my F-150. I see what you mean about the inside seal is way down from the outside. Yeah. Yeah, you got a lot of room to work with. Same with the sides. The gaskets also are farther back, and you could almost tuck that film in like a full inch on both sides. So you really should cut them out a little extra wide too as well, because of how much room you got to work with on the inside. Well, this is cool. So I was streaming using a different setting and it seemed to work okay. Oh, we're still recording, so we're gonna stop recording. I'm gonna have to check that out. I forgot I was still recording on here. Oh, was that? Oh, I should leave that enabled. I totally forgot. Oh, I can't get it to replay. Bummer. never mind. Sorry, I'm thinking out loud. Just ordered 3 glass aid. Thank you. I appreciate that. If you have any of the Tint Wiz triages, could you throw a couple in? If I have a couple, I'll definitely check for you. I might have a couple, but even one would be good, right? Dude, the manufacturing story behind that card was crazy. Do I have... And like the ink fell off, I think, on all the ones that I used too. Oh no, I got one. I got one here. But so this is one that I've been using. So what was really crazy about this was, you guys see how it says Tint Wiz, right? So they manufactured this material so nothing would stick to it, so it would glide as smoothly as possible. So for this collaboration, it's not actually imprinted into the mold or anything. It's printed on. So they had to basically like find a primer to spray on here or dab on here so the ink would stick to it. But then the ink, so you had about an hour and a half window to prime it. So where you primed it, you could print Tint Wiz on here. And then they had to leave them sitting to dry for at least 5 minutes. And they made about 5,000 of them. And they're like, just the technical challenge of just doing that was absolutely insane. So these things are very special, but they're working on more too. So they're getting another run, but when they had the first run, it was like there was a lot of work. So, what solutions are you use? Like for soap, I use baby shampoo. Alrighty, I'm gonna check my phone. See if we get a response. Be there 1:15 to 1:30. Okay, cool. Cool. He's very, very happy. I always like sending a picture along with like the job. It's like, your car's all done, and then like people are all excited about it. It's fun. All right. What was it? There was something I wanted to look into while I was here. I hopefully can get those orders out pretty soon. I gotta get them out before 3:30. If I can get them out before 3:30, they'll ship today. If not, then they ship all the way on Monday. Because they don't do shipping on Sundays. Oh yeah, I think I can get all these out today. I gotta check for those triages though. Everything's in the basement though. My one comment on Twitch was so funny today. Why you no put it on the inside? You go inside and outside? Question. My tint is on the inside. What? I do not tint windows. What an asshole. Good stuff. It's a five-headed Twitch chat. All right. Well, if things are pretty calm, I guess we'll go ahead and end things here. So, yeah, Focus RS. Hope you all learned something. Oh, 1 second. We'll let it pop up. Hey, James G with a $2 super chat. Hey, Matt. Hey, James. Thank you so much for the super chat. I really appreciate it. We had a few today. Tracy, Daniel, and now James. So it was cool. I'm basically out at this point. Only a little bit left. I'm glad we got those stream alerts sorted out, though. Vroom, crackle, pop, pop. Yeah, I love that one. All of them are super fun. Yeah, thankfully it's only like, oh, you guys remember what the robot voice sounded like. So I have to basically, like, when I put these together, like when I start doing the live streams, I have to separate the audio from like my headset to the PC. So the PC audio is on one channel, and then I separate the app so that only the app is playing through my headset. And that can cause some confusion for me, but overall it works pretty well. Just some extra technical frustrations when I'm getting things all set up. Thanks, Matt. Or thanks, just want to say hey again. Thank you. I really appreciate the super chat on that. You're welcome. Thanks, Matt, for your mentoring. Hope to make some money one day after 100 times tinting my car. Have a good day. Hey, I don't know if you actually tinted your car 100 times, but like the best way to just get out there is to just get out there and do it. I've been put in a lot of uncomfortable situations with tinting, and it's been a hell of a struggle to get where I am today. But if you just keep on going, you'll get there eventually. I'm off to attempt my sunroof. Oh, the sunroof. So the only thing about the sunroof, he's got one in here. I actually want to show you this. So if my GoPro's still going, if you're still in the sad face. Well, I tried. Okay, so with the sunroof though, you'll often see a dot matrix border, but check the inside and see how much of a ceramic border on the inside that you have. You still have to shrink sunroofs, but that little ceramic border, it varies from sunroof to sunroof. So cross your fingers, hopefully you got a wider one, but be sure you shrink it. Hey, Steven. Or Stefan. With the $5 super chat. I learned you have some damn nice thick hair. I'm bald. So I make up for the sandness by the money I save in shampoo. I am so glad that I stayed on for that super chat right there. Everybody's saying E. That was great. Dude, I need a haircut at this point, but there's still, like, I'm not sure. Okay, so I haven't looked because everything's been shut down, right? And I'm assuming they're all closed anyways. So I usually go about 3 or 4 months before I get a haircut anyways, but you can see, like, right here, like, look at this. My glass, like, once it gets past this point, it goes it's like a fucking ski slope. But keeping it this way is like the only way that I can somewhat keep things in order. But thank you for that super chat. That was fucking great. I'd hardly ever get any meme super chats, but man, that was a good one. Alrighty. And I got you. You still tinting? I got barbers still cutting. Oh, really? Are you in like the Michigan area? Because I need to get my shit tinted. I need to get my hair cut. Do a man bun? No, we're not doing a man bun. Love watching, more like listening to your streams when I can. I'm doing a 69 Dodge. Whoa, old school Dodge Dart. Good luck. Should put up a video myself. Should put up a video myself of the work today once I put it together. That would be one hell of a video, but oh man, I've always had a hard time trying to film something like that while I'm tinting it. Good luck on that one. Yeah, a Dodge Dart. I saw that first, then the 69 Dodge Start's like, ooh, yeah, old school. Definitely some issues with that one. Yes, sir, they are mobile. Oh, interesting. Huh. Yeah, hit me up on Facebook then, I guess. You're on Facebook. So yeah, just either message the page or message me directly. Because I do need to get a haircut. And if they're mobile, fuck, we could do it right here. Not a live stream though. That's great. Yeah, I always wondered what the hell people are doing about that, because some people are still getting a cut. So it's like, I guess it's all about connections and reaching out. So any tips on an '05 Silverado windshield? Not especially. They're just really wide. Just cover up the dash. Shouldn't be anything too crazy if you're familiar with windshields. It's a general, yeah, there's nothing that stands out about those. They'll shrink like a back window. They're just generally, like being an '05, it'll be a little extra dirty, so. Live stream that shit. Yeah, but they put the thing around me and it makes me look like I'm 3 years old getting a haircut. Let me get a hair studio after hours. It could be a fucking dance studio. It could be a lot of things with the lights, the floor, like goddamn. All right. Are we good now? I went to just chatting streamer, but I don't have anything else to like bring up. He's gonna be here in a little bit. Well, like a little while. But I should probably go back inside then, I guess, at this point. Yeah, I gotta see. Oh, I got leads. I got some Tint Wiz leads. Somebody messaged me about a Model 3 with a full windshield in ceramic, and I was like, I don't know if I want to do that. It'll be like $1 million. All right, we're gonna close things off. Thanks everybody for the super chats. Really appreciate it. Tracy, Daniel, James G. Rock, paper, or scissors with Twitch chat, or sorry, not Twitch chat, YouTube chat. Daniel, James, and Steven with the fucking best comment of the day for sure. Alrighty, thank you all for hanging out. We'll have another one of these soon. Hopefully either Monday or Wednesday, one of the two. I'm not sure yet. So nothing scheduled yet, but calls are still coming in. So all right, have a good one. I will see you in the next one.